Hello everyone, my name is Olga. On my channel I am sharing with you my thoughts about the war in Ukraine. I am showing you the invincible streets of Kiev and I am showing you the stunning landmarks of Europe. Today I would like to share with you my thoughts about the huge, massive missile attack that happened this night in Ukraine, and I would like to ask you a question. How do you think? Is there any kind of logic in what Putin and the Russian government is doing in Ukraine? Why is that happening? Why these large missiles attacks are happening? And I would like to share with you my opinion about this. We survived this winter. During the winter, Russia definitely had the idea to ruin power grid, to leave us without electricity, without power. But we survived these massive attacks. We were not successful. And again, there is a new wave of attacks. We felt that because at first it was Nikolaev, and today at 4 a.m., when all the people were peacefully sleeping, we had another attack in many cities. So totally about 24 missiles were sent, and 21 of them were hit by the Ukrainian armed forces, and still we have victims among the civilians. And every time when we hear and see this, it's so unexpected. There is no safe place in Ukraine. Many people who are welcoming Ukrainian refugees sometimes begin to think that some cities are more safe than the others, and people can go and return leaving Ukraine. But these missiles attack, they prove once again that nobody can predict the next steps of Putin. So from the official sources, we know that Russian forces launched this large-scale missile strike in the early hours of 28th of April. Up to now, we know about 23 people who were killed and 30 who were injured. The numbers are not final because there is rescuing operation still ongoing. The missiles were sent from the Caspian Sea, from these Tu-95 aircrafts. And people really had heard air raid sirens, but some people really ignore them and don't go to the bomb shelters. And in Uman, in Cherkasy region, the missile strike hit the 9-story building and a warehouse. The civilians were sleeping, the kids were sleeping, and really we are always unprepared. We cannot understand the logic of that, of what is happening. More and more cities are involved. Today, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, Uman, Mykolaiv were hit. It's difficult to keep living in Ukraine. It's difficult to withstand everything. It's painful to hear about multi-story buildings full of civilians hit, and we have different emotions: the anger, despair, powerlessness, and most of all, rage. Putin, the people who support him, have nothing human about them. There is video in the Telegram of the lady who was the eyewitness of what has happened. Her apartment was ruined. Luckily, she survived. But there is horror and pain, and you can feel it even through the screen. We feel sorry for everyone who are losing the lives and the houses. We feel sorry for our military men who are risking every minute their lives. I'm afraid, personally, I'm afraid that this war will continue for a longer time, and there will be even more pain, more dark emotions, and it scares me. For some people, it's just a next blast, and it's also scaring that people don't have any kind of emotions. They're just continue living because they got accustomed to this. We feel powerless, and there is no logic. If there were logic, there would be no war. Today, they are trying to fear the population. The Russians hope that people will just beg, people of Ukraine will beg the government for negotiations. There is no logic. There is intimidation. There is trying to break people down. There is the attempt to exhaust people morally, psychologically. And sometimes it seems to me that these are just the actions of the sick psychopath or a kind of actions of the moral freak. What is the logic? If, for example, the dog on the street just bites you, will you ask why? Will you wonder why the dog beat you or not the other person? So the same true is here. There is no need to look for the logic. A couple of days ago, on the anniversary of Chernobyl, there was this 37th anniversary of the disaster when the nuclear power plant exploded. Russians were threatening. They were writing in the chats, "We can do it again. We can repeat." And they were writing, kind of threatening with a nuclear blast. What is with the brains of these people? We don't know. But we believe in our successful counteroffensive. We need strength for our civilians and for our soldiers, for our armed forces of Ukraine. And I wish some people in the world awaken and stand with us. Because when you watch such footage of just ordinary civilians, when their houses were destroyed, their children were killed, I feel that it is so unfair, and something should be done by the whole community of the world. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being with me on my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and send it to your friends to share it. See you next time. Slava Ukraini! Glory to Ukraine!